In this SkyCAD tutorial, you're going to learn how you can manage the different configurations your projects may have by using options. If you haven't seen the Introduction to Configuration Management tutorial yet, we recommend watching that before continuing with this tutorial. When options are defined and activated, any data that is changed, whether manually done so by you or through a SkyCAD automated process, will all become undone when options are deactivated. For example, I'll activate this option, manually move this motor, the connections are automatically stretched, manually add some terminals, and run renumbering so the wires are automatically renumbered. When I deactivate the option, all those modifications, manual and automatic, are all undone. Activating the option again brings all those modifications back. In summary, absolutely anything you do in the context of an option will be associated to that option only. If you create a new sheet, move a symbol, delete a component, run renumbering, assign a part number to a component, change anything in a panel layout, or modify the project in any other way, those changes will all be associated to that specific option only. Deactivating the option will undo those modifications. Therefore, it is important to be aware of which options are activated or not when working on your project. This is achieved through the option tree view, which allows you to see which options are available and activated, and allows you to activate or deactivate options as needed. I'll close the option tree view now to end up with what you're used to seeing in SkyCAD. To open the option tree, go to the Configuration Management tab and select Show or Hide Option View. The option view can be stretched vertically by clicking and dragging here, and stretched horizontally by clicking and dragging this line. The option view can be hidden by selecting the X beside the option view. I'll close this project for now. Because it is important to know which options are activated when working on a project, the option tree view will automatically be displayed when opening a project that has options. Note that when you open a project which has options, some of those options may still be active. Let's close this project and start with a simple example, where we take this conveyor project and add one simple option, making it so it can be defined as a bidirectional conveyor. To add an option to a project, select it in the tree view, go to the Configuration Management tab, and select Add Option. Once the option is displayed in the option view, you can expand its properties to change the name and enter a description if you wish. I'll activate the option now so that the modifications we're about to make will be associated to that option only. We can now proceed with all necessary modifications to the project to make the conveyor bidirectional, by moving some components around in the schematics and panel layout, adding some new components and assigning part numbers to them. When the option is deactivated, even though the option still exists, everything that was done when the option was activated is immediately undone. Activating the option again will bring back all modifications that were applied while the option was active. Take note that in rare cases, some specific properties are not affected by options, meaning that changing their values will not depend on active options. For example, changing component tags and project names will be effective regardless of which options are activated or not. Of course, it is possible to define more than just one option for a project. Let's create another option that adds a light to the panel. We'll add an option to the project, name it, activate it, and start modifying the project. Now we have two options in our project, one which makes the conveyor bidirectional and one which adds a run light. But what if we want the bidirectional conveyor to have a run light too? In that case, we can activate both options by holding the Control key. Now, all the modifications that belong to both options are applied at the same time to the project. You might have noticed that in this particular case, with both options activated, there is a slight design problem with this control circuit. If the conveyor runs forward, contactor C1 will energize and the run light will come on. But if the conveyor runs in reverse, contactor C2 will energize, but the run light will not come on. Fixing this will be just as easy as when only one option is activated. Having both these options activated, we are telling SkyCAD that whatever modifications we're about to make in the project only applies when both these options are activated. So we'll go ahead and make it so the run light comes on when the conveyor runs forward or in reverse. From now on, if either of the two options is activated, the modifications we just did so that the run light comes on in reverse will not be applied. Only when both options are activated will that particular modification apply. In conclusion to this tutorial, we would like to show you a handy feature. At some point, you may wish to check which elements in a schematic are affected by a particular option. To do this, activate the option, select the option, go to the Configuration Management tab, and select Highlight Selected Options. As long as you have the option selected in the option view, the components affected by the option will be highlighted in blue on the schematics. To learn more about using options, see the Get Flying tutorial list.